You probably clicked on this video expecting some sort of clickbait or for me to be a big Texans hater. But the truth of the matter is, Stroud's at a make or break point in his career. At the end of the season, he's going to be eligible for an extension. And what that looks like for quarterbacks right now is $55+ million a year. We saw that with Trevor Lawrence, who after his first 3 seasons, he signed a $55 million contract. The difference between the two, at that point, Lawrence was averaging 4,000 yards and 20 touchdowns a season, and he had a losing record. He did have a playoff win. Stroud, right now, through 2 1/4 seasons, he's averaging about 4,100 yards, 22 touchdowns. He's got a 20-16 record and has won 2 playoff games. He's better across the board. What that says is that this money's basically already in his pocket. However, he had a phenomenal rookie year and then dropped heavily in virtually every statistical category in his second season. Fewer touchdowns, completion percentage, yards per attempt, quarterback rating, you name it. This year, it's looking even worse. Right now, he's on pace for fewer yards, fewer touchdowns, and more interceptions. This has all led to the Texans having a terrible offense. And it's put them at 1-3, and they're buried in a tough AFC playoff race. And they've still got tough games against Baltimore, San Francisco, Seattle, Denver, Buffalo, KC, LA. And that's not to mention they got to play the Jaguars again, who they already lost to, and they got to play the Colts twice, who are on an absolute roll this season. If they miss the playoffs, despite having an elite defense, who through the first 4 games are allowing the fewest points per game across the league, the Texans are going to have to answer some really tough questions about whether or not Stroud's in their long-term future. Let's say they do decide to extend him. $55 million a year. They're also going to have to do the same for Will Anderson, who's probably going to make around the $40 million a year mark. That will give them 3 players who are making top-of-the-market money in Stroud, Anderson, and Derek Stingley. Does that remind you of any other team who's paying 3 players top-of-the-market money and struggling to make the playoffs? Now, I know Burrow got hurt, but the truth of the matter is the Bengals are about to miss the playoffs for their 3rd consecutive season. And they're going to have conversations about whether or not certain coaches and so forth are going to get fired. If that's any indication of what the Texans are looking at, they're going to have a really tough conversation about whether or not they want to have Stroud in their long-term future. I mean, if Houston decides that Stroud isn't in their long-term future, they may even go the route of trading him, picking up multiple first-round picks and starting the process over. Stroud would be one of the best quarterbacks in franchise history on the Browns, Jets, so forth. You get the idea. But we'll see exactly what happens. At this point, if Stroud improves and he looks great, then he may be worth the money. But he is at that make or break point where he's either going to be worth a $55 million+ extension, or he's going to be teetering on that bust conversation. We'll see how the rest of the season goes.